Hello and welcome to a new video on my channel. I'm Adam and today I am sat a bit further away than normal because my chair has decided to give up on me. So now I'm recording sitting on something else which is a bit further away, thus I can't move forward. But it'll be kneeling down like a moron, so yeah, I'll deal with this for now until I can afford to get a new chair. That will probably be a month or so. If you also watch the Adam Ferns archive, so I will give you the disclaimer. Uh, the video which I'll be uploading tomorrow there, I actually recorded beforehand, before my chair gave up on me, so that's why I'm sat a bit closer then. But yeah, that is the reason why I'm sat a bit further away. But that's just the one video that I'll be uploading tomorrow on the archive channel, which will have me sat up close. Don't know what other videos I plan to do. But that is what happened and why I'm so far away. Hello from over yonder. Okay. Anyway, with this video, I am actually doing what I said in my previous video, at going through each series of Beast Quest, saying which beast I believe is the strongest of that series. The reasons can come to abilities, how they did in Battle of the Beasts, which is the tournament that I host on the Adam Ferns archives. Going to need to talk to Lucas about something regarding that channel. I might be posting an update as well, saying about saying what the update will be. So changes might be made to that channel, but I need to talk to Lucas about that because ultimately we share custody of that channel. Make it seem like a child. But that is something I need to talk to Lucas about, and might get done, might not. It's fine though. But right now, what we're going to do, we're going to talk about the strongest beast, in my opinion, from each series of Beast Quest. Lucas, I'd love to see your version of this video. Same with you, Jack. If you guys are watching and you would like the idea, I would love to know what your opinions are on the strongest beast from each series, because I know you guys are up to date with Series 1 to 31. Well, I know Lucas is. Jack, I think you've read Series 31? Not sure. Can't remember if you commented on my Series 31 review. So, with that, let's get into this. We're going to go in series order. So, we're going to start off with Furno the Fire Dragon. As I said in my last video, Furno is, in my opinion, the strongest. And that comes down to having a sheer massive number of abilities. That includes Fire Breath, Flight, Enhanced Durability, Natural Weaponry, an immunity to poison, and so much more. Being able to disguise itself as a rock and a few other aspects as well, which I personally see as fantastic, honestly. Brilliant. What also supports Furno's case to be the best beast of Series 1 is that Furno, for the past 2 tournaments of Battle of the Beast that I've done with Furno in, he's been the last beast standing of Series 1. By a long shot, might I add. So, it was an easy choice for me to pick Furno. So, yeah, I'll take that. Series 2, we have Trillian the Three-Headed Lion. As was established in the last video as well, Trillian is, in my opinion, the strongest beast because of his durability, being able to take hits quite well. However, as I also mentioned in the previous video, he does seem to have limits. Because it seems to be like blunt ranged attacks like swords and arrows. Okay, yeah, that's fine. But would you be able to take being impaled, where the weapon you're impaled by goes right through you? Can you survive a harsh drop, drastic temperature changes? Can you survive being burnt? So many things that I have regarding Trillian's durability, which does lower him down for me. But the reason why I rank him higher as the strongest beast, because there isn't much competition in Series 2 which can make him more worthwhile. I'm going to move the camera forward, see if that's better. Oh, that's better, I guess. A bit closer to you guys. So, yeah. So, for me, Trillian is the strongest beast, but not by a lot, because there isn't much competition to where Sultra and Zephyr are the next in line to be the best beast. And that's surprising that I said Zephyr. But Sultra, what pulls her down, in my opinion, is that, yes, she has a great ability being able to conceal herself in the fog and with the enticing voice and all that. However, I think it's just her physical strength which throws her off for me. So yeah, that is it. Series 3, we got also in the previous video, Tusk the Mighty Mammoth. Now, I am not the biggest fan of Tusk. It's been established in multiple videos that I'm not a big fan of this book, to the point in one of my previous videos, I actually chucked Tusk from one side of my room to the other. And I didn't regret it at the time, probably kind of do now because it's a bit damaged, but yeah, Tusk is the strongest beast in this series easily, because there isn't really much other competition in that series, with Naga being alright sea monster, Sting is a bit fragile, I'll say, and Score is Score, but you do have the likes of Cayman, who does have the potential to be the strongest beast, and Torgor being made of straight up muscle is quite good too, plus being with that battle axe, he is imposing. However, for me, I say Tusk is the strongest, because with the poisonous tusks, as well as in incredible durability and strength, I would say it will take, none of the other beasts of Series 3 can actually take Tusk down, which would solidify to me Tusk is the strongest beast. Plus, it took the teamwork of Tom, Alina, Storm Silver, and the Gorgonian rebels just to take down this beast, and even then it was a struggle. So I feel if Tom was against this beast by himself, or with just Alina, it'll be a much harder fight, to the point where Tom may not have won. But anyway, that's my golden shining moment on Tusk done. Time to move on to Series 4, where we get to talk about another beast which I'm kind of meh about, and that is Blaze the Ice Dragon. Personally, to me, Blaze is the strongest beast of Series 4, because apart from having the ghostly abilities like the other ghost beasts have, I believe that what makes Blaze the best is that he's the biggest one, serpent-like, so take that as you will. But he's the only one that can actually, he's the only one that can actually fly, and also breathe ice, which is cold enough to freeze an active volcano. Temporarily, don't get me wrong, but if you have ice which is powerful enough to freeze an active volcano, you can freeze any of the other beasts in their spot, and then you could just fly down and just bash yourself into them. They'll break and probably die, whilst you just maybe get a mild concussion, and even then you'll be fine. So Blaze is the strongest beast of Series 4 in my opinion. Moving on to Series 5, now we're going all the way back to the old generation tournament for this one, where it was the last beast standing of Series 5 being Rock the Walking Mountain. I'm not the biggest fan of Rock, which I've established in recent videos and previous videos on my channel. But what makes Rock the strongest in my opinion is that if all the Gwildorian beasts of Series 5 went against each other in a battle, I could see Rock easily crushing Crab, Koldo, Amixis, and Hawkite. And when it comes to Rock versus Tremor, Tremor may have a bit of chance with burrowing underground and just creating a sand pit for Rock to be trapped in. But then, even if Rock's trapped, how is Tremor going to kill Rock? So I feel like Rock would just crush all the other beasts of Gwyldor like a bug. Sorry, Amixis, that was a bit of a harsh joke. But yeah, I don't see a way in which any of the beasts can actually beat Rock. And why it doesn't really surprise me that Rock was the last beast standing of Series 5 in the Old Generation Tournament. The only reason why he wasn't in the Old Generation Tournament was because he went against Griff. So, take that as you will. He is beatable, sorry. But it's going to take some effort. For the most part, if Rock's in a fight, he's probably going to win. For Series 6, we actually have Merc the Swamp Man. Now, I would love to put my girl Vespic up on this instead of Merc. But looking at it from a non-biased standpoint, you got a lizard, which, okay, and a rat and a bat, okay? Vespic can beat all of you. so can Merc. Then you got Terra, where Merc can beat you, Vespic can't. Probably can't anyway. I don't know. But then it just leaves Merc and Terra. And as I said, Merc can beat Terra. So then Merc versus Vespic, Merc will win. Because Merc doesn't really have a physical body for Vespic to get up close and kick. It seems like if Vespic gets up close to Merc and tries to kick him, she's just going to get stuck inside of him, where Merc can just easily just crush her or snap her neck. To the point where, is it really a competition? Merc, I think, is the strongest beast of this series easily, where he can beat all the other beasts of Series 6 with little to no struggle. Not to mention the hypnosis. I didn't even mention that. He can hypnotize his opponents to stay in place for him to get to them, or for him to pull them to him, because he has swamp manipulation as well. This beast can kill the other beasts of Series 6 without even using the swamp manipulation and the hypnosis. So take that as you will, but that does tell me that Merc is the strongest of Series 6. Yes, again, like Rock, also defeated by Griff. So, Griff, you're doing great, mate. I look forward to talking about you in Series 17. Up next, we have Series 7 with Crestor, the Crushing Terror. Now, as I mentioned in my previous video, Crestor is the strongest beast, in my opinion. Sorry, I just got a message which I had to read because it had my full name being mentioned. Okay, I'm going to sort that out later. But Crestor, in my opinion, as I said in my previous video, is the strongest beast which Malvel had control over. Technically, though, he didn't have control over Crestor. He just moved Crestor from his natural habitat in the water to the mountains of Tavania. And considering Crestor was still able to put up a great fight in the mountains of Tavania, despite probably being scared of the surroundings because it's an environment he's not familiar with, that alone shows how threatening this beast is. And yeah, I know the other beasts of Series 7 have had the same problem where they were in an environment they weren't familiar with and they were scared and still put up a good fight. That is why I love these beasts of Series 7. But for me, they do good. Crestor excels them. And that also comes down to the Battle of the Beasts. In the old generation, he was the runner-up. And in the all generation, he made it to the final 3. So, quite frankly, Crestor has been established twice on the Archive channel to be a Lumen threat, which is a hard one to beat at that, and one which it may seem like I have a bit of bias to because I absolutely adore this beast, but my likeness for him was always there. And it only grew when the tournament was being done, to the point where if there was one beast I would have defend me against every other beast, Crestor would be my second pick. Because I feel if all of these beasts which I'm mentioning in this video came up to attack me and I can only have one as my defender, Crestor would be my second pick. Because there's one more which I would trust more than Crestor. And I think we know who it is. Representing Series 8 is Bloodboar the Buried Doom. I actually had a really hard choice deciding which beast I think is the strongest for Series 8. Because you have Balisk, which I adore and think is underrated, but ultimately I can't see him being the strongest. But I do think he does deserve recognition. Hexen and Torno have their moments, but really they're not amazing. So that leaves Coron, Cronus, and Bloodboar. And what made me solidify my choice on Bloodboar was really, if Coron went against Bloodboar, Coron would be faster, but Bloodboar can bury underground, trap Coron in a sandpit and kill him there by crushing him. Or Coron can try to attack with his claws, teeth, scorpion tail, and because of Bloodboar's armor, he won't be able to penetrate it. So that will make Coron useless against Bloodboar. Then we got Cronus. Having the height advantage, okay, Bloodboar can't suffocate him in the ground, but Kronos also has laser eyes, but with Blood Ball's armor, it's not gonna penetrate it. So with the armor, with the lasers pretty much being reflected off the armor, Kronos will have no choice but to get close to Blood Ball. And considering how tough his armor is, where both times Blood Ball's been defeated, he had his armor taken off, Kronos isn't going to be able to get Blood Ball out of the. Kronos isn't going to be able to get Blood Ball out of the armor, which means that Blood Ball could wear Kronos out, and once Blood Ball has the opportunity, he can charge up and take care of Kronos then and there. It's more of a battle of endurance here for Blood Ball, and for me, Blood Ball would win. I'm not saying his armor is invincible, because there are some things which I think can beat his armor. Depends how hard you can hit, or what certain kind of manipulation you have with a certain item, which can dissolve it. The beast that I mentioned before, it has that kind of manipulation, and so does the beast I'm about to mention. Ladies and gentlemen, the beast I'm going to mention next is the beast that I will trust to take care and defend me if all these beasts were attacking me. Because he already has a very important job as it is. And this beast was actually the one that defeated Crestor, or the Crushing Terror, in the old generation tournament. So, considering Crestor was the runner-up in that tournament, yes, the beast which I would say is the strongest of Series 9, the one which I would trust to defend me against every other beast I'm mentioning in this video, and the Guardian of the Eternal Flame, is Torpix the Twisting Serpent. I will trust this beast with my life to defend me against these other beasts, because of being able to shoot acid out of his mouth, being incredibly agile, and may not have many great abilities, but enhanced durability as well as enhanced agility, the acid spit and coils. Really though, Torpix doesn't have that many abilities, but he has enough and the experience to warrant having one of the most important jobs a beast can have. And that is why I'm giving Torpix the strongest beast of Series 9. And I'm sure Lucas would disagree with me here, saying that Silver's the strongest. And I will respect your opinion, because I do understand why you believe he's the strongest. However, though, yeah, Silver can get close to Torpix, but providing if the situation's right, Torpix can shoot acid at Silver and just nullify Silver's agility, where Torpix can outrun him easily, and then finish him up there. So for me, Torpix is the strongest beast that I'm mentioning in this video, for having an important job, but also being the first winner of the Battle of the Beasts tournament I've ever done. I do have a bit of an attachment to him, so that might be a bit biased, but there's no doubt in my mind he's the best beast of Series 9. Up next, for Series 10, we have Tecton the Armored Giant. Now, despite not being my favourite beast of this series, I can't deny that an armadillo beast like Tecton, being able to roll up in a ball that's giant, by the way, and crush your opponents, it will eliminate Shamani, Lustor, and Doomskull. Maybe not Doomskull, but then you can come out, use your strength in your claws, your arms, your teeth, and just take care of Noctilla and Doomskull then and there. And Voltrex won't stand much of a chance with you either, because of your thick hide. You won't take damage from his tentacles. That just leaves you to just chop him up into calamari, let's say. So Tecton, easy choice for me to be the strongest beast of Series 10. And I can't really say how well he did in the tournaments I've done that with him in, because I believe in both round 1 and in the first tournament and the most recent tournament, he died in round 1. I might be wrong with the second, with the OG tournament. He might have died in round 2, but he didn't make it far enough to really acknowledge how good he is. But don't worry though, he'll get his chance eventually. Will he die in round 1 again? We'll find out eventually. Chances are he might, but most likely wouldn't. Now, the strongest beast from Series 11. It was a bit of a tough choice for me because none of these beasts I really see as a strong beast. But I ended up settling on this one because my favourite beasts, Brutus and Flamar, Brutus and Serpio of Series 11 are both weak to fire. Then you got Tauron, who has never been established to be resistant to heat. And then Elko, yes, being a water beast, I don't think will stand much of a chance against this one. And Tarek, you tried your best, mate. But for me, the strongest beast of Series 11 is Flamar, the Scorched Blaze. Really, it was a bit of a tough choice because I don't really like talking about this beast. But I can't deny that this beast does have some good abilities. And I feel if all of Series 11 got into a Battle Royale, Flamar will be the one that comes out on top. For Series 12, I did also have a tough choice because, as Lucas has mentioned in his reviews on this series when he talks about it, these beasts are meant to be the most dangerous of the dangerous, the baddest of the bad. But none of them really stick out as threatening. And what I mean by threatening is like looming threats. With Series 12, you expect all of these beasts to be looming threats, disastrous, kingdom destroying, like let's say Bloodboar, like Bloodboar, threatening like Bloodboar. And yeah, I do prefer this beast more than Bloodboar, but like Bloodboar's not my favourite of Series 8, and this is my favourite of Series 12. But then you compare the beasts that you got Solak, a shark with bone fins. Okay, that's cool. You got Kajin, a wolf, Solak will win, maybe. But then you got Isrilla. Forget some of her abilities, but I do believe Isrilla would beat Solak. Then you got Vigrash. I'll go with Isrilla. Then you got Merca. I would say Merca would beat Isrilla. And then you got Kamar, where Merca vs Kamar, it's not really much of a fight there. So really, I would say it's a close second for Isrilla to be chosen here, but I would say Merca. Now, with Merca, this is a bit of bias me talking. But if you're an ice horse which breathes out fire through your nostrils, that kind of eliminates a weakness which people would expect of an ice beast. Plus, with the sharp hooves at the front and being able to swing your tail to shoot icy projectiles like Glarky can, and also with a sharp unicorn horn, you do have your high points to where I think this beast can beat Isrilla. Or Isrilla. I don't know how to pronounce her name. But there is also a part of me which thinks Isrilla will be a close second. And out of the beasts I mentioned so far, yeah, is probably the closest second. For Series 13, this may come to no surprise, because this is a very easy choice. You got Skurrik, you got Targro, you got Slivka, you got Lenka, you got Vermok. All of them are nothing compared to the strongest beast of this series being Cobra, Ghoul of the Shadows. Might be a little bit overrated, but if you can change the environment to suit you, as well as transform into a beast or someone who can thrive in that environment, but also go into an environment which the other beasts will struggle with, yeah, there's no competition. Cobra's going to win. That is probably one of the easiest choices I had to make here. Now, going on to Series 14, we actually have what I think might be a surprise pick for you guys. Wrathcore the Stampeding Brute. For me, what gives Wrathcore the victory here as the strongest beast of Series 14 is actually his durability. He can shoot beams of light, which turns people evil, but or corrupts them, sorry. But I'm gonna say it will just send an energy blast towards them, which is also quite powerful, might I add. But being able to cause earthquakes, take so much damage, and shoot an energy blast, you're a good ranged and close-up attacker. And you can take a hit, so you kind of have a tank as well. So compare it to Vizlak, Tychron, and Falral. I don't believe Wrathgore would struggle against any of them because he can just shoot them down with an energy blast and crush them with his giant hooves. So yeah, no competition there. Representing Series 15, I'm sure there'll be a debate between me and Lucas for this one, but for me, I'm going with size over accomplishments and also actions in the book as well. So with that, I'm going with Plexor the Raging Reptile. Lucas would probably think Wardock or maybe Quagos for the actions in the book. But Quagos, yeah, bowed down to Tom in the centre, causing him to be turned against by the people of Tangala, thinking Quagos works for him. Okay, that's fine. That is a great idea for Quagos, by the way. But he was probably told by Belmau to do that. Then you got Plexor's actions, which was to pretend he was captured by Rotu, only to break out and cause havoc and destruction then. Okay, that's great. Was he told to do that by Velmau? Is less believable. Because at that point, Velmau was nowhere to be seen until the very end of the book when it turned out that him and Rotu were working together. But what makes me pick Plexor over Wardock, despite Wardock being a winner of a tournament and Plexor not even making it to the semi-finals? For me, I give Plexor the advantage here because he is much bigger and also has the advantage underwater, unlike Wardock. Wardock has the advantage in the sky, but Plexor can also breathe above water. Wardock can't breathe underwater, which is why that is kind of the deal breaker for me. Is also the size advantage which Plexor has, which I'm also given to him, making him the choice for me to be the strongest of that series. Not biased whatsoever. I do love the Loch Ness Monster. Don't get me wrong. If I can find a good tattoo art of Loch Ness Monster, I will get one. And I'm being deadly serious. I will. But for now, Plexor, in my opinion, is the strongest of Series 15. But if I can try and soften the blow a bit to try and make people feel better, thinking that maybe should be Wardock or Quagos, it's not by a lot. It was a tough choice, but ultimately I went with actions and size, which made me choose Plexor. So yeah, that's why I chose Plexor. For Series 16, now everyone who has seen a previous video on my channel will know that I do not like Series 16 at all. Series 16 is my least favourite season, and I'll probably stay that way. But for me, it was kind of an easy choice on which one is the strongest. And it's Solix the Deadly Swarm. Because you got Styro, you got Ronak, but they can't really do much against Solix. Ronak could probably do better than Styro, but I think Solix will still overpower both of them. Then you got Canis, who, like Styro, won't be able to do much at all. Yeah, you can phase into the shadows, but you can't attack Solix in the shadows. You need to actually be able to attack him physically, her physically. So when you come to, you could just barrel into the giant Solix, but the Solix can just reform up and pin you down and kill you then. Like, it's no really competition. So for me, Solix is easily the strongest of Series 16. Moving on to Series 17. Get to talk about a great beast here. Oh, I'm so looking forward to talking about Griff. Yeah, Griff, easily the strongest beast of Series 17. Why is it Thoron? Okay, come on. Like, okay, I love Griff. Don't get me wrong. I adore this beast. And I can think of a way of how Griff can beat Thoron. By freezing the cloud because it's water molecules. However, I can see a way in how Griff can beat Thoron, Okko, and Sorex. But I'm giving Thoron the strongest beast of Series 17 because he's a cloud. He's kind of hard to hit. And even if he had that orb in the middle of him, which is kind of the nerf I had to give him in the tournament, I would still say Thoron's the strongest. Because I would say his toughest challenge would be Okko. Because Okko is also a beast which is going to be hard to hit. But if Thoron is a thundercloud, surely he can produce rain as well, which will make Oko slower and heavier and easier to hit. Plus, with Griff and Sorex being, well, a bird and a chameleon, the bird will just get zapped instantly and get roasted. Sorry, Griff, I love you, but you're going to get roasted. Well, shocked, sorry. Sorex, you were my favourite of Series 17 at the start when I did the Beast View, but yeah, the Thoron would beat all of them, and I can't deny that. I want to. I can think of a way of how Griff can beat all of them, but it's just more believable if it was Thoron. So, we're now at Series 18, and for the strongest piece of that, it's kind of an obvious choice. And that just comes down to one key ability, which is the equivalent to Solar Beam from Pokemon. And that is Corixa the Diamond Warrior. Now, with a ability similar to Solar Beam, you would need to take a moment to charge it. Okay, that's fine, the other beasts can try and attack. But you're made of diamond, so you're going to be hard to beat, hard to shatter. So that is already an advantage. Plus, with your diamond sword, not even Soara will be able to take that. For which beast in Series 18 would be second place to Corixa? As much of a disappointment she is, I'm going to say Soara. But even then, it's just like, Corixa could still beat you quite easily. Now, up next for Series 19, we have Stritor the Skeleton Dragon. Not really much of a competition here, considering Stritor has had quite a good run in the New Generation Tournament. Ended early, but still a good run. And because he defeated... I don't know who... Falrar. No. I don't know who you defeated in round 1 of the New Generation Tournament. But in round 2, you killed Kroko. So, already a good win under his belt. He died in round 3. But then in the New Generation Tournament, he came back fighting. He killed Falrar. He killed other beasts. And he's in the final 2. Keep an eye out for that video on the Adam Ferns archives, where the where the final fight of Battle of the Beasts All Generation will be airing tomorrow, with Stritor being one of the final 2. It was an incredible fight to do, and that along with his accomplishments that he had in both tournaments, with an incredible victory in the New Generation Tournament, and killing a former runner-up, and no, he killed 3 semi-finalists in the New Generation Tournament. So Stritor has had quite a fair amount of good accomplishments under his belt, which makes him a worthy finalist and an easy choice for the strongest beast in Series 19. And I'll argue the hardest one to hit. With second place, I'm gonna... It's either Quag or Corvax. Because Quag is made of stone, so going to be harder to actually injure. But then you've got Corvax, who can literally breathe ice on herself or go into water and heal herself. So it's a bit of a hard choice, but I think I'm going to go with Quag with his Stone Gaze ability. Where he shoots beams of light from his eyes and then it turns people to stone. So yeah, okay, I'll give Quag second place. But I still believe Stritor is the strongest of that series. No questions asked. For Series 20, it's Skalix the Snapping Horror. I really don't think there's much competition. The tail alone will knock out Zulok instantly, will apprehend Akira quite well, and Raikar, yeah, you stand no chance. So yeah, Skalix was an easy choice for me. No questions asked. Series 21, Skra the Night Scavenger. Same thing with Skalix, no questions asked. It was an easy choice. And the main reason? The Ignition ability. Tyrantix and Lightbidder are both weak to fire, one of which is attracted to light. So you see a great ball of light, what would Lightbidder do? Just fly right in there. That reminds me of Wreck-It Ralph with King Candy's demise. But then you got Greymon, who I think will put up a good fight against Skrar, but ultimately Skrar's agility, sharp claws, and his tail, as well as the ignition ability, will beat Greymon. Plus, Greymon lacks common sense. But also, the weakness for Skrar is a very big one at that, which could make Greymon win. But for that, so Greymon needs to withstand the ignition. And that's not going to be an easy task. For Series 22, might be a bit of a surprising pick, but, I mean, if you think about it, it's not really that surprising. And it's actually Larnak the Swarming Menace. Yeah, I just had to double check that. Larnak has the ability, same as Solix and Kreta, being able to deform and reform from a swarm of locusts. And so that makes him pretty hard to hit. Not to mention, Menux won't be able to do anything against it, and neither will Nasefa, so that kind of eliminates them. Jurog matches Larnak in size, to me, I reckon. But Jurog would still struggle to attack Larnak, because Larnak has the agility over Jurog. So that's why I give Larnak the strongest beast award for that series, Jurog being a close second, and Nasefa being... Actually, Menux being third. That is surprising. But yeah, Nasefa is the weakest of Series 22. Very surprisingly, by the way. Which I only just realised myself. But yeah, Larnak is an easy choice for me. So yeah. Series 23 now. And I could go with a safe choice being the Shapeshifter Zircon. But, like, yeah, Torka exists. Doesn't have any projectile abilities on her. Yeah. But she has 3 massively sharp beaks. The power of flight, sharp claws, and a tail whip, which is similar to a dragon's. Not to mention scales to deflect projectile weapons. I can see Zircon winning in some cases. But really, though, I believe Torka would win more. And Crotax would also put up a fight against Torka. But I want to go with Crotax. I want to pick Zircon because I prefer them over Torka. However, Torka just having a height advantage makes me think that Torka is the best beast of that series. Strongest, rather. So, yeah, that's why Torka's the best of Series 23, with Crotax being second and Zircon being third. Represents Series 24, not really a surprise considering his achievements in the tournament. It is Morax the Wrecking Menace. Now, Morax is depicted to be weaker than Krokol. However, if they were fighting each other on equal terms, equal strength, Krokol can have the upper hand, but really I don't see a way in how Morax would lose. For Morax being able to just play pinball in the ball form, I feel would just be a very easy victory for him. And for Pangolin Beast, yeah, I'll give him his moment in the spotlight. I think he would win. Fluga and Electro wouldn't stand much of a chance, but they're still great regardless. However, Morax, I believe, is the strongest. Plus, in the Battle of the Beast tournaments, he got semi-finals in the New Generation tournament and died in the top 20, either in the top 20 or right before the top 20. So, made it quite far. For Series 25, we do have the runner-up of the New Generation tournament being Lycaxa Hunter of the Peaks. To me, there's no competition there, because you got a very fragile bug being Diprox, Glarky, who has had his moments but is overshadowed by Lycaxa, and a quarter. Yes, I can see putting up a fight against Lycaxa, but with Lycaxa being more agile and having increased senses of hearing and smell, I feel he would smell a quarter coming and hear a quarter's vines coming for him as well. And plus, with Lycaxa's barking, he can just trap all 3 of them in a cliff or rock slide, which would give him the easy victory. So yeah, Lycaxa's the strongest Series 25. Now, moving on to Series 26, we have Technos the Ocean Crawler. This was a tough choice because I'm picking between a Hydra, a Centaur with wings and the power of fire on his side, and a Kaiju. It was a hard choice, but as you can see, I chose the Kaiju because I don't really see how the Centaur can beat Technos at all. So sorry, Chiron, you're out. And Malix's main ability regarding a fight against Technos is the regrowth of heads and also spraying wood encasing venom on him. Technos, I feel, is strong enough to just break through that wood with absolutely no effort whatsoever. So yeah, that's why I'm giving Technos a victory here. It was a bit of a tough choice to make, and Sylexa can also put up a fight, but going down to achievement, Sylexa doesn't stand a chance, and Chiron and Malix do, but compared to Technos, I just think they don't compare to him. For Series 27, we have, you'd think Gargantua, but I'm going to go with Devourer. Now, I do see a good case for Gargantua, but really, with Devora's ability of being able to go from a school form to this form, it's similar to Larnak and Solix being hard to hit. And then being able to turn water into ice and ice into water, she can trap her opponents under ice and then go into the main form and use her bone fin to just attack them and then bite them and so on and so forth. I think they wouldn't stand a chance. Plus, she can just straight up drown Gargantua if she can. So I don't really see how... I see how Gargantua could win, but I see more of how Devourer could win. So that's why Devourer is the best piece of Series 27. Now we're on to the new Protectors era, where the strongest beast of Series 28 is Velacro the Lightning Bird. And what... Sorry, I got distracted. Let me just go and check what's happening. Sorry about that. But yeah, Velacro the Lightning Bird. For me, I see this beast is easily the strongest because you got the likes of Captiva, which is no competition. Same with Osiron. But then you have Styx. Really, Styx, I don't think will be able to reach Velacro at all, especially when Velacro actually has a ranged attack, which can take care of all three of the other beasts in Series 28, without them even being able to touch him. And being able to, with the same abilities as Devourer, Larnak, and Solix, being able to go into a flock of Janus birds and create portals to a different realm. I mean, the abilities say that Velacro is the strongest of Series 28. And yeah, that stands true. Moving on to Series 29 now, and we have Draka the Winged Serpent. What can I say about you? Well, I can say, from an update from the last video I did, Draka's ability with acid is actually able to shoot jets of acid from his fangs. Yeah, okay, you know what? Draka is definitely one of the best beasts of Series 29, easily. And with the acid, will dissolve the other beasts quite easily, might I add. Not to mention agility and the coils from his serpent-like body and flight. Yeah, okay. And also with what I said, Draka is back to where he was regarding my ranking on all the beasts. So yeah, Draka is definitely one of the best. Moving on to Series 30, we have Selkara, Monster of the Depths. Really, it was a bit of a tough choice, but it was either Selkara or Makoro, because I don't see how Leptika can beat them. I just went with the bigger beast, which I believe would be able to beat Makoro, and that was Selkara. Not really much I can say about Selkara, but yeah. Not really much I can say, but I went with Selkara because of the sheer size difference compared to the other beasts. Has the strength of Hyrix, the durability of Makoro, and the intimidation factor of Leptika. Yeah, Selkara is the whole package. And the final beast, I'm going to say was quite an easy choice. And that is Hiraxor. I'm going to say Hiraxor. Hirazor. Hirazor? Hirazor? I don't know. I need to think of a way to pronounce it. But Hiraxor, I'm going to say, the Firehawk. Hiraxor is based off Ra, the Egyptian sun god. And that is shown in his name, where if you take away the letters except those two, you got the name of the sun god. And the ability, being able to flap your wings and send out a cluster of sunbeams to the ground. That is one of the most overpowered abilities, and also a new one at that. So, Sunbeam... Now, the reason why Hiraxor is better than Lupix, Pyrano, and Petrock, for me, is actually because of those sunbeams. Because it's sunbeams. They are vaporizingly hot. So, Lupix will melt instantly. Pyrano would probably evaporate, being a water dragon, but he's not even made of water. But he would die. Petrock will be scorched. It'll be an easy victory for Hiraxor, and all he or she will have to do is just fly over them. That's all he or she will need to do. And the only downside is that ability and Hiraxor in general is situational. It just depends on if he or she has direct contact with the sun. And if it's a cloudy day, then Hiraxor is cold to the touch, or warm, not hot. And the sunbeam attack is useless, where it just comes down to the beak and the talons, in which case it probably would be Pyrano being the stronger beast. Or Petrock, I don't know yet. But for me, providing it's a nice sunny day, Hiraxor's going to win. And yeah, Hiraxor, I think with that ability alone, despite being a bit situational, is stronger than a big number of the beasts that I've mentioned here. And that is actually the strongest beast of each series of Beast Quest, in my opinion. I did have a good think about why I believe each beast is strongest. And yeah, I think I'm going to stand by this choice for a while. But for now, that's all for this time. If you like what you saw, leave a like, leave a comment down, click subscribe, press the notification bell down in the corner below. I'd love to see which beasts you probably disagree with and which beasts you think should replace them. But until then, I'll see you next time.